Guess what? Your thoughts are your reality. So what is your reality? What are you experiencing right now? It got me thinking. Last night someone commented and said, I choose to stay in reality. And I had to stop and think, well, what is reality? What is your reality? And if your thoughts are your reality and my thoughts are my reality and their thoughts are their reality, I guess we're all living in a different reality. Is it 3D? Are we 4D, 5D, old world, new world? Are you rich? Are you broke? Are you successful? Where are you? What is your reality? And you really do have to think about, what are your thoughts? How does it all interconnect? And when I think about it, every single day, I spend time in the morning listening to positive affirmations, journaling, meditating, and all of those practices consistently each and every day have improved my overall thinking. That doesn't mean I don't have negative thoughts. That doesn't mean that bad things don't pop up in my life, but I do know without a shadow of a doubt that I have expanded, evolved, healed, and transformed my mind, my thoughts. That I don't have bad days. I may have a bad minute, a bad hour, but I don't ever have a bad day. What about you? Can you say the same? Are you having a bad day? Are you having a bad year? Anybody having a bad year? Terrible year, worst year ever? Maybe, right? Maybe. But again, if that is your reality, that this feels like the worst year ever, how willing are you to change your internal state of being? I'm gonna say that again. If you're having the worst day, worst week, worst month, worst year, any of those situations, how willing are you to change your internal state of being? It all starts there. Everything exists within you. It's only when you latch on to the external, when you externalize the results that you want, when you externalize your expectations, that you are let down. And then even when you're let down, where does the feeling happen? Where is that exchange? Something happens in a far off land, in a far off place, and you hear about it or you watch it. Just imagine that's like a game, right? Your favorite team is playing in a far off place that's not your home, not your living room, right? And you're watching it, you're observing it. And what you're observing is changing how you feel. Like that alone is probably one of the most important things that you could awaken to. If you were to like lift your veil and say, what's really going on here? You think about it. Things on the outside control what's going on the inside of you. And we've always programmed ourselves this way. Everything has been externalized since the very, very, very beginning of our lives. And I truly do believe my reality has been how to decouple myself from that, how to release the external circumstances, situations, scenarios of this world, of life, controlling how I am feeling on the inside. Something very terrible could literally happen in my life right now or come to my attention, and it's up to me I've realized that it's up to me how I want to respond to that. Do I want to flip the switch that says be sad, be miserable, be depressed, relapse back into a alcoholic, or light up a joint and just bliss and just check the fuck out? Or do I want to stay centered and grounded on myself, understanding that these things happen, and that, one, did I have any control over it? And two, is there anything I can do to change the circumstances? And you need to ask yourself that. And even if you can't change anything that has happened, what you can change is how you respond to it, and it's certainly how you feel about it. But there are so many people right now, are you one of them, that you have zero or very small amounts of emotional self-control, an ability to emotionally self-regulate. That means something happens and it messes you up, it shifts your mood, and you're able to have an awareness to say, oh, my mood just shifted. Why? Why am I depressed now? Why am I angry? Why am I anxious? Why am I nervous? Why am I scared? Why am I overwhelmed? Why am I feeling alone? Why am I feeling desperate? Why am I feeling guilty? Why am I feeling ashamed? What's going on right now? And can I shift that? Can I first honor it, get to the root of why, and then say, you know what? I give myself permission to either go back to neutral or greater. And that's the whole game right there. That's me giving away the game. But it sounds simple, but it's not easy. And you know it's not easy. Because of the programming. And it happens from our very beginning stages of life. Everything's externalized. Think about it. You're a little baby, everything. You're so dependent on what? Your caregivers. For some of you, it's parents. For some of you, it's others. But first, it was all dependent on the caregivers. Then we start learning about authority. Then we go to school, and then we have to be dependent on the teacher. And then we learn about everyone else's history. So throughout our entire life, everything is externalized. We really don't get classes and real in-depth experiences that truly help us to center ourselves on ourselves. And it is the craziest thing. I really do think this is the message and the instruction and the guidance that I am absolutely trying to share with you and the rest of the world. Because when you look around, there is so much suffering on this planet right now. And it's not all physical suffering. I think probably the least amount of suffering is actual physical suffering. And when I say physical suffering, if you could just imagine either a place that has been devastated by war, where it's just everything's destroyed, or even by natural disaster, a hurricane, a tornado, a flood, a fire, just everybody's lives and homes and everything destroyed. And I've seen both firsthand. And yet, most suffering on this planet is where? Where is most of the suffering? It's right here. It's in your mind. You're making your own self sick. You're creating your own suffering, your own sadness, your own loneliness, your own low self-confidence, your own worthlessness, your depression, your anxiety. It's all happening in your mind. And you act and think that you are helpless. I'm going to say that again. You think you're helpless, that you don't have control over this. Thus, that is your reality. That if that is your thought, that is your reality. So how do we change our thoughts? It takes a lot of intention. Changing your thoughts is going to take a lot of attention. Because first you have to start doing an inventory of your thoughts. You have to really start to become the observer. It's called being the observer. It's disconnecting from your thinking mind and in a way that is like, okay, time out. I want to clear my mind real quick. stop and do this. Try and clear your mind. Just no thoughts. See how long you can stay there. And once you have that first thought, write it down. Try this anytime. Clear your mind. Take some breaths. Focus on your breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Focus on your breathing. Try and clear your mind of thinking. Give your thinking mind a rest. And then just sit there focusing on your breath, and then be honest with yourself and be present for that first thought to come through. What is it? Write it down. And as you start to observe your thoughts and write them down, and then you're looking at it, figure out, where does that thought come from? Is that thought filled of worry, doubt, anger, uncertainty? Or are your thoughts full of confidence, success, winning, accomplishment, prosperity, freedom, happiness, joy, peace, bliss? Where are the origins of your thoughts? If I was to take a guess, most people are negatively inclined in their thinking. And then you have to also look, what are you taking in? Are you someone that watches the news still? Are you someone that is so focused on politics and social issues and division and wars, listening to even negative type music? You have to realize that these things are influencing you. Versus if you were to start doing some searches for positive affirmations, filling your mind with positive thoughts, positive frequencies, healing frequencies. These things exist. 528 frequency, look that up. 528, that's a powerful frequency. It's so powerful that I guarantee you, if you're a negatively thinking type person, listening to 528 frequencies is gonna be uncomfortable. It's not that I don't like it. It's that you're uncomfortable with it because it is energizing you and healing a part that is really sensitive and uncomfortable inside of you. It's trying to realign your own energetic frequencies. And there's healing in this, just like there is suffering in that, perpetuation of suffering, of being a victim. So when you ask yourself, like, what is your reality? When you say, I want to stay in reality, it's like, what does that even mean? We all have a totally different perspective of what reality is and what it isn't. You know, there's that saying, if you think you can't do something or you think you can do something, both are right. Which is it? Do you think you can't get sober, lose weight, be healthier, be more successful, be more aligned with your true purpose on this planet, speak your truth, find real, healthy, secure love? Or are you somebody that believes you can? That you can get sober, that you can turn around your health, that you can get back in shape, that you can make time to really work on yourself and do it alone if necessary for an extended period of time, that you can let go of people that are no longer aligned with your purpose, with your highest calling on this planet. Because some people's reality is that this is all just for nothing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that this is for nothing. I don't believe that you get to just sit back on the sidelines and just squander life. Sure, you may not be the person that is going to transform the whole entire planet and is remembered in 5,000 years from now. It's not about that. Your focus shouldn't be on, well, if I'm not going to be able to be the most influential person on the planet and remembered in 5,000 years, what's the point? It ain't about that. I truly believe the purpose of life is for you to truly become the best version of yourself, to align with your divine birthright. And in doing so, you become the best version of yourself. And when you become that, let's see who you are. That's the challenge. That's the whole thing, as I just saw 555. But it's going to take change, which is what that number symbolizes. Transformation and change. See, you're sitting there in a lower state of being with your negative thoughts, creating your current reality, saying, what's the point? Ain't nobody, 99.9% of people are not going to be remembered in 1 generation, 2 generations. But it's not about that. It's about, who are you today? Are you living life with intention? Are you doing life, or is life doing you? And a lot of times when you act as if nobody means nothing, well, I don't believe that. Because I believe I see you, you see me, we're one. We're all connected. And for you to be walking around as if you're a nobody, that means we're all nobodies, and I don't believe that. I believe that your spirit and the soul inside of you is going to go on forever, and that is worth something. It's probably the most precious, valuable thing in all creation, in this whole entire universe. And yet that life force inside of you is truly able to cultivate energy that can truly add to the higher frequency on this planet, that can make this planet a better place. If you were to truly go all in on you, release this lower frequency stuff, the negativity, and start to align yourself with the positivity, with unlimited potential, who do you become? The truth is, no one knows. I don't know who you become. I don't even know the fullness of who I'm going to become. But I do know I want to see how far I can go. And I think you should be trying and considering and open to the same possibility for yourself, to see who you can become. Sure, you may have been successful back in the day, but what are you doing today? Sure, you may have failed back in the day, but what are you doing today? Are you still sulking and licking your wounds from your mistakes in the past? Are you still polishing off the trophies from 20, 30 years ago? The medals, the accolades? What are you doing now? This is all that exists, is right here, right now. And I believe that this planet, that every single being, spiritual being, not human being, you're a spiritual being, having a human experience, that one by one, as we release the pain, the suffering, the toil of this planet, and we start to align ourselves with the infinite, the spiritual, the high frequency, that we then transform this planet. And you're seeing it happen. Yet so many people are caught up, and I know that. I know I'm up against a lot of resistance because of what I'm speaking, because of the message I'm bringing. And I don't come rehearsed. I literally sit back, I meditate, I ask God, give me a message, help me to speak life over the people that need to hear this message today. And this just is flow. This is flow state. And I know it's my calling, because I wouldn't even want to do this if it wasn't something that was bursting out from within me. needing to be spoken into this planet. But I know that the masses are still walking around with a veil, walking around in denial, totally and easily distracted by every shiny thing, looking for something external to bring about a little sense of relief, a little sense of pleasure, a little sense of joy, a little sense of happiness, a little sense of success. And it's so sad that literally you could be investing in yourself, which is the greatest return of your time and your energy. But instead, you would much rather sit there and invest in watching someone else. And you have no control over it. And you're getting all worked up. Whether your team wins or loses, you don't get to profit anything. It's so shallow. It's so short-lived. It literally costs you more than just your time. You're literally giving away your energy. You're giving away your treasure if you're wearing the jerseys and all the gear and all this stuff, when you could be investing in yourself. And that's the greatest investment. You will not come up empty if you start to invest in yourself right here, right now. What does that even mean? Well, I truly believe the 4 areas, and there's really a 5th, the 5 areas that you could really put some focus for self-development, self-improvement is in your mental health, your emotional health, right? So your mind, what you're thinking, your emotions, how do you feel, your spiritual health, your connection with God and creation, your physical health, your body, how are you perceived, how do you feel, how strong and powerful and energetic are you, and your financial health. How free are you? How abundant are you? Because I truly, like so many people have a negative experience about money, and I've had to overcome that. I grew up with a single mom and just hearing all the fights about bills and, just never having enough. And yet that obviously got projected onto me, and I've had to empower myself to redefine what success is, what money means, what investing is. And I'm continuing to evolve there. And it's something that I truly believe is worth your time and attention. Money is not a bad thing, because money in the hands of good people can do great things on this planet. But yet so many people are like, no, it's the root of all evil. There's all these false beliefs. And I know you want to point to the Bible, and that's not exactly what it says there. And money isn't the solution to all your problems. The solution to all your problems is within you. It's truly feeling whole and complete. No lack. And that means financial lack, love lack. You don't lack anything from the outside. You don't need to see a team win. You don't need to be told, I love you. You don't need to be given money to feel valuable. You know you're valuable because you're aligned with your divine birthright. Anything that is of the false identity is all the shit we put on top of ourselves from the outside. That's all false identity. Wearing the teams, wearing the championship that you didn't win, celebrating people that you don't know. That's all false identity. And that's why it's time to start getting real, to become authentic. And I'm continuing to work on this each and every day. I know that it challenges me every single day to continue showing up real and authentic. And I think it's time that you do it too. And that's what I'm trying to create here at Results Kill Excuses. To build a community of people that are going to show up authentic and real and vulnerable and not tear each other down, but we're willing to build each other up. Because there are many, many, many seasons that I've been through in my healing journey where I was truly all alone. And it made me stronger. It made me a better person, but I know that it doesn't have to be that way. That we can create communities of support and networks of encouragement, that we can truly not have to go through those darkest nights of the soul all by our lonesome self. And so if you're willing and interested in starting to really shift your internal state of being, it's going to take you doing some self-discovery. It's time to go back into the lab, go back into the classroom of who you are and learn about who you are, learn about what makes you tick, learn. It's that observation that I talked about earlier. Hearing that internal voice and writing down, like, what in the hell are you thinking all day? And if your thoughts are your reality, holy smokes, we need to start editing. We need to really start to, with intention, become a more positively aligned author of our story. And it's not going to shift your reality instantly. But as you start to infuse your mind, your thoughts, and start to write it down and reframe it in a positive way, it will start to shift you. I have seen it happen in my life. And if you're looking for some content to engage with throughout this holiday season, type in Results Kill Excuses into your app store, and right there's 25 free lessons packed into 5 courses for self-discovery. You have to download and print the worksheet or order a workbook and invest some time, quality time investing in you. This is an investment in you. It will not return void. You get to win every time you do one of those lessons. That is you winning. And you have that control. What else do you have control over winning? What food you put in your body. If you put an unhealthy food in your body, that's not winning. If you switch up your nutrition, that is you. You have control over that. You get to win. If you start to create a budget and live a little more restricted, not frivolously spending money on shit you don't need, that is you winning, and you have control over that. Getting in exercise with intention multiple times a week, that is you winning. You have control over that. If someone else loses a game, if someone else loses an election, if someone else cuts you off in traffic, you don't got no control over that. So understand what you have control over and what you don't, what you can change and what you can't change, and start to take extreme ownership over your life. With that being said, thank you so much for joining me. Comment down below to connect. If this message is resonating with you, share it with someone else. If it's connecting with you, that means let's be a ripple. Share it with someone else, and then they'll share it, because this message is right on time. If you're hearing this message, it's because it's for you. Now share it with someone else. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.